All right, we're going to take a look at this Hellboy Artist Edition by IDW. Before we talk about this book, a little bit about me. My name is Walden Wong. I'm a comic book artist for Marvel and DC Comics. Check out my website. It's waldenwongart.com. Over there, you can see some of the artwork that I've done for different publishers. And also check out my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/waldenwongart. Anything you'd like to show support for me making these videos, it's much appreciated. So without further ado, let's check out this Hellboy Artist Edition. Alright, so this is Hellboy and Hell and Other Stories. Here's the barcode if you want to get a copy yourself. The barcode is usually on these outside covers, outside these wooden covers. And this is actually the first artist edition I ever bought. I didn't make videos of it. I had this one stored away for a long time, but I never actually opened it. So I'm going to open it now for the first time so we can look at this all together. There is a protective plastic here, so I never actually looked at this. I'm going to remove the protective plastic first, so there's no glare when we look at the cover, front cover and back cover. I'm going to remove this plastic. Okay, going to go here. There we go. So no reflective part of this. So let's measure this artist edition first. Mike Mignola's Hellboy Artist Edition, Hellboy and Hell and Other Stories. So the width of this is, let's see how wide this book is. So it's a little bit more than 12 inches, and the height of it is a little bit more than 17 inches. Okay, so let's take a look at the front cover. Mike Mignola's Hellboy Artist Edition, spot gloss on the Hellboy logo, and then we have, look how amazing this art is. And then Hellboy in Hell and Other Stories. We're going to take a look at the spine. Here's the spine. Mike Mignola is a little Hellboy right over here by IDW. And then here is the spine. Hellboy in Hell and Other Stories. And then we have the back cover. No spot except for the signature. Okay, the spot gloss over there. Okay, so here's this. We're going to open up the book to see how this opens up, this part, see if it cracks or kind of gets. So here, once it opens, I do hear some cracking noises. Okay, so it does, yeah, it's cracking. You guys hear that? Okay, so I'm going to open this book just to let it stretch. And then now we're going to go look at the inside front cover. And then let's take a look at the inside back cover. Just one piece of artwork here. This stuff and this stuff is the same, just almost paisley pattern. And then now we're going to take a look at the book. So here's Mike Mignola's Hellboy in Hell and Other Stories Artist Edition. Okay. I'm going to go here. Feel free to zoom into the video if you want to read some of that. For my old dad, Mike Mignola. Okay, so as I'm showing you, well, feel free to pause the video if you want to read table of contents. Mike Mignola's Hellboy and Hell and Other Stories Artist Edition is part of a new ongoing series, one dedicated to showcasing outstanding artists in the format as special as the work deserves. Seems like they have this sentence in all of the artist editions. So as I show you these artist editions, man, looking at this Dark Horse Comics artboard, it reminds me of the time when I was working with Joyce Chin, Arthur Adams' wife, on Xenia Warrior Princess. In the beginning of my artist career, I was working for Dark Horse Comics, Marvel Comics, and DC Comics at the same time. I don't know, maybe because I was just newly into it, and then I was showing my portfolio around to like a lot of publishers, and that was the year that I got work from a lot of publishers. So I remember working on Predator for Dark Horse Comics. I was working on X-Force for Marvel Comics, and then DC Comics I was working on Justice League of America, JLA. later on. I remember Arthur Adams. He called me and said, "Hey, Walden, are you?" No, actually, no. It wasn't. No, that was no. Arthur Adams called me to work on the Hulk. Actually, let me introduce myself first. My name is Walden Wong. I'm a comic book artist for DC Comics and Marvel Comics. I've done work with a lot of publishers such as Dark Horse, Image, and the ones I mentioned earlier. Been doing comics for over 30 years now. I've been doing comics for a long time. And actually, as you're looking through this, I'm just going to tell you guys stories of me working in comics. So before I started working in comics, I used to collect comics at this store in San Francisco. The store is called Ogleos, Ogleos. It was like a mascot of a little owl. And in that store, when I would go there and buy my weekly comics, Arthur Adams would be working behind the counter, or he would either be drawing in his room in the back that's near the register, and someone else would be working on the counter. And during that time, almost every week, I would see Arthur Adams and Mike Mignola there. This was around the year when Mike Mignola's book Dracula came out from Topps Comics, and I remember asking Mike to sign those books, but I wasn't really there. I didn't really like care for Dracula, but since that was an artist that drew that comic book, I just bought it, and then I had him work on it. This was before any Hellboy came out, so I remember seeing Mike Mignola with his wife Christine often, and Arthur Adams was there, and we just see each other every week during New Comic Day. I don't know how long Mike Mignola would hang out at the store. It was kind of like Arthur Adams' store that he kind of like, he ran, or like a co-owner or something. Like he funded it, and someone else that took care of it. And seeing Mike and Arthur every week is like, it's nice and all, but it's just some guys working in comics talking about some of their new line of comics. And then I wasn't even thinking about working in comics at the time. I was just there buying comics, and I kind of got to know them a little bit. Then one year, when Image Comics started, they decided to create their own imprint called Legends for Dark Horse Comics. Mike Mignola created a Hellboy, and Arthur Adams created Monkey Man and Orion. So they had a store signing to introduce the characters, and I wasn't able to make it, but Arthur Adams had a Monkey Man and O'Brien print, first time, like the first printed thing that he's done, and he saved one for me, and he signed it. It goes to Walden, "You knucklehead, one day I will kill you." I remember. No, I can't remember. Okay, I get confused between who said what. Okay, and then Mike Mignola also gave me a print. It says, "Walden, one day I will kill you," or "Walden, you knucklehead," or something. And it was the first printed Hellboy piece that Mike Mignola did. I have it somewhere in my collection. It's framed, but then at the time it's actually framed behind another artwork. So it's this larger 11 by 17 print, and then I frame other stuff, and I didn't know where to put those two pieces of artwork, because at the time I didn't know who Monkey Man and O'Brien was, and I didn't know who Hellboy was. Hellboy is like, what is this character? I only bought like Marvel and DC. And then now, Hellboy became such a popular icon, and Monkey Man O'Brien, some of you may remember Monkey Man and O'Brien. Oftentimes when I see Arthur, I still tell him, you should bring back Monkey Man and O'Brien. If you do, you can pencil it and I'll ink it for you for free. I just want Monkey Man and O'Brien to be back in print. Seeing some of this. Okay, now let's get back to the story of some of this artwork. So Joyce Chin, who's currently she does a lot of artwork, and then she's also Arthur Adams' wife. She contacted me once and asked me if I wanted to work on Xenia Warrior Princess with her. Because we both lived in San Francisco, along with Arthur at the time. They don't live here now. They live like in Walden Creek. They live in San Francisco, and then I would just go to the house, or they would just come over to my place, and I would just pick up the pencils that Joyce would draw, Xenia Warrior Princess, and it had all these Dark Horse logo. I remember seeing that. It's like, oh, this is so cool. You can see the Dark Horse logos on it. I remember the Dark Horse paper compared to the Marvel paper, the Bristol board, or DC, they're a little bit wider, a little bit taller. It just has more space. It has these black bars on them too. Marvel and DC doesn't have those black bars, but Dark Horse does. They have these black bars. These black bars is where for the printers the crop area. So production would just take that and know where to crop. It's easily seen. So she contacted me, and we worked on a whole bunch of Xenia Warrior Princess. I ended up inking the whole series. When Joyce left the series, other pencilers went and took over, and then I continued inking the whole series until it ended. So I did that. Fast forward a few more years after inking Xenia Warrior Princess, Arthur Adams called me on the phone, and he asked, "Hey, Walden, are you exclusive to Marvel or DC?" I said, "No, I'm not exclusive. What's up?" And then Arthur would say, "Hey, would you be interested in inking 4 issues over my work on the Incredible Hulk for Marvel Comics?" And I said, "Yeah, of course I will. I'll drop whatever I'm working on now so I can ink over your pencils." And this is when they moved to Walnut Creek, which is not too far from San Francisco. And I would so when he was done with pencils, I would either drive to his house, or he would drive to my house, and we would swap pages, and we would have lunch together almost every week, or every other week. I can't remember. And then we would just look at our artwork, talk about and critique, the work, and see what we could do differently, and then go from there. So we did that for a whole maybe 5 months, I think. 5 months or more. So we were working together. So that was a fun time. I still have some of those Arthur Adams pages. I also have some of those Joyce Chin pages. Yeah, it's interesting how. Okay, now looking at some of these art, you see some of the gray tones in the comic book that's colored. Everything is solid black. Dark Horse should actually print Hellboy pages, like comic book stories, just in black and white. Forget all the color, just have it in black and white. I mean, color is good. I understand that a lot of people like comic books that are in color, but if it's in black and white, it would be so much cooler. I like looking at artwork that's in black and white. Look at all these buildings over here. Okay, I want to continue on. Oh, so I just noticed now. So these scans are scans of the artwork. No text. So that means Mike Mignola was drawing them, and the lettering was done digitally. That means, it could be like hand lettered, and then there's an overlay that placed on top, or it was like a hand lettered and on a computer, and then once they get the colors done, then it would be plopped back on top. Yeah, so Mike Mignola, from the time I met him over 30 years ago, maybe even longer, maybe 35 years ago. I remember I was a little kid, not even thinking about a job or anything. And then now Mike Mignola's doing Hellboy, Arthur Adams like doing so well. They're like such amazing artists. Okay, here, table of contents. Here's this. Oh, this looks nice. There's Hellboy. Hellboy promo. Look, Mike Mignola's using Marvel comic paper to draw this on. Doesn't matter if it's Marvel comic, DC, Dark Horse. They're all the same measurements. Coming in 1994. So 1994. So 94, 9. Was that 30 years ago? 94, 04, 14, 24. So that was 30 years ago. Yeah, so this is like maybe I met them maybe 3 years before they created Hellboy and McMahon and O'Brien. Well, so looking at this has more of his Marvel style work compared to some of the Hellboy now, which is like is more detailed. They both style looks great. I remember seeing this is Next-Men. This is Next-Men page. This is for Next-Men. Next-Men. Ooh, look at that! Look how amazing that is. Yeah, I think Mike Mignola is one of those artists. Every panel that you look at, it could be a cover. Like this could be a cover, this could be a cover, this could be a cover. Every panel looks like cover work. Just think about what I said and you look at the image. That could be a cover, this could be a cover, this could be a cover, that could be a cover. Very few artists can create art where each panel. What is this little guy over here? Hellboy Capital. No, don't know what that is. Here's this. Here's this. A little whiteout detail over there. Yeah, these are amazing. So it looks like a lot of this, Mike Mignola is inking around the blacks, as opposed to filling it all black and then using whiteout to do these dots. I think he's just using a brush and filling all the areas, and then some of those places he just missed, and he just leaves it in there for textures. I remember one time I was talking to Arthur Adams, and I was like, "Hey, how do you like Mike Mignola's work?" You know, just to pick his brain a little bit. And he goes, "I hate that guy." You know, why do you hate that guy? Aren't you like good friends? Yeah, but he can draw so little, and it looks so effective. He can draw like something with fur, with just a few lines, and it looks like fur. Whereas I have to draw it, and I have to draw every fur, and it takes me so long. And that was like so funny. So that's just different artists, different styles. So some artists can be a really detailed artist. Some people can be more like an open artist, where they can put more details in it, or as little details, and then make it look like what their intent is supposed to be. Knock. Well, look. Oh, now it's hand lettered. This one's hand lettered onto the original artwork. Okay, so the earlier pages were not hand lettered, but these are hand lettered, also hand balloons and tails. Surprisingly, all these pages, they're nice and clean, not compared to some of the other artist editions where I see some of the artwork it's a little bit more on the yellow side. Hellboy the Goal. Like this. I'm going to go to the next page. And again, feel free to speed up the video if you want to go faster, or slow down the video, or pause the video if you want to look at the artwork a little bit more. Part of the reason I like making these videos of these artist editions is because these books are so heavy that if I just film it and I know I have it on YouTube, I can go back and just look at the artwork, pause and play as frequently as I like. And if there's a story in it, I can pause and play and read it. Because imagine holding this in your arms or your lap. It just takes a long time. Table of contents tells you what's happening on those page numbers. You know what? So there's these page numbers here. But that does, I mean, I'm great that you have those page numbers. But here I can't really find the page numbers unless I count the page one at a time. You know, like here, there's no page numbers. So you know, for I know, these page numbers can be like a different page number. And then we're getting closer to the last few pages. Mike Mignola. His signature used to be different. This is more of his written signature. Like his signature back then, it used to be more like a cursive signature. When I got him to sign stuff during my times of buying comic books in the comic book store, and he was always there. Okay. There's this, and then that's the last page. Self-portrait of Mike Mignola. Feel free to pause the video if you want to read this more. And then the last page. So let's take a look at the back book. The back here. Okay, very cool. Only spot gloss on the signature. The spine. And then we have the cover. I think this is the second print. I wasn't able to get the first print. First print of this was, did it say second print? Yeah, see, this is the second printing. This is the first printing that I wasn't collecting these at the time, but it has a different cover here. There you go, that's the Hellboy Artist Edition. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Check out my website, it's waldenart.com. Over on my website, you can see some of the artwork that I've done. And check out my Patreon. So if you want to show support for these videos that I make for you, please think about supporting me over on Patreon. It's patreon.com/waldenart. Anything you support, I appreciate. Please comment down below if you have any questions or would like to see other artist editions such as this, and then I'll see if I can put my hands and grab some of those copies and make videos such as this for you. Take care and have a good day. Bye bye.